Okay, hello, it's Wednesday and therefore Murdle time. You may remember that last week Deductive Logico had gathered the suspects together and Lady Violet tried to kill the decoy Logico. So Logico is now going to reveal the mystery of the murder of Lord Violet. So here we go. This is mystery 21 from Murdle, More Killer Puzzles. There is a dark secret on this island, Logico declared, and if we are to uncover it, we must ask ourselves who killed Lord Violet, for it happened in the Draconian Civil War after he had joined with the Royal Resistance to fight the Reds. So the suspects are Governor Led, I assume it's Governor Led rather than Governor Lead, could be either. He would become the most feared and least loved of the three Draconian governors. He's 6'2" tall, right-handed, has brown eyes and black hair. The Iron Tsar, the meanest, cruelest and most powerful strongman in history, he always wears a helmet. He is 5'6", left-handed, has grey eyes and unknown hair because he always wears a helmet. And Major Red, the revolutionary leader who freed Draconia from the grasp of the Tsar and then immediately grasped it himself. 6'2", left-handed, has brown eyes and brown hair. So the locations are the Grand Balcony, which is outdoors, where the Iron Tsar would make his annual appearance to watch the military parade. The Great Hall, which is indoors. Not only are the floors and the walls made of marble, but the forks, spoons and knives are too. And the throne room, which is indoors, the great throne of the Iron Tsar stands in the middle. It's made, perhaps ironically, of gold. So the weapons are a bazooka, which is heavyweight, probably the worst possible weapon for your enemy to point at you. The Big Red Book, which is medium weight, written by Major Red. Some say it single-handedly won the revolution. Others say that weapons played a part. And ivory Night Eater fangs. Ancient Draconian warriors would wear these to terrify their enemies. And they are medium weight. The idea of wearing medium weight false teeth feels like it would be uncomfortable. Okay, we've got some more anagrams here. Okay, so clues and evidence. The Iron Tsar had previously appointed the person who brought the Big Red Book to a government post, and yet they betrayed him. Phew, so we know the Iron Tsar didn't have the Big Red Book. Pieces of the story were scrambled over time, and there is an anagram here, so we'll solve that when we flip the camera. Governor Led attempted to take his place on a golden throne, so we know where he was. The revolutionary leader carried a heavyweight weapon, which is the bazooka. Which is the revolutionary leader? Oh, Major Red. Lord Violet was struck down in the Great Hall, so we know where Lord Violet was killed. So let's flip the camera and see how we do. Okay, here we go then. So the Iron Tsar had previously appointed the person who bought the Big Red Book, so we know that the Iron Tsar didn't have the Big Red Book. Pieces of the story were scrambled over time, so I think this says ivory fangs were not in the Grand Balcony. Yes. So ivory fangs, location. Which one's the balcony? That one. So the ivory fangs were not in the Grand Balcony. Governor Led attempted to take his place on the golden throne. So Governor Led was in the throne room. I feel like we haven't got as much figured out as we normally have at this point in the investigation. The revolutionary leader carried a heavyweight weapon. So Major Red had the bazooka. Here we go. Okay, so this does now help. So we therefore know that the Iron Tsar had the fangs, and that Governor Led had the Big Red Book. Okay. Lord Violet was struck down in the Great Hall. So we know that the murder location was the hall. Right, do we know who was in the hall yet? No, we don't. Okay, this is the point where I have to do some braining and see if I can figure it out. Okay, so what do we know? So we know that we know Governor Led was in the throne room, And we know that Governor Led had the Red Book, so we therefore know that the Red Book was in the throne room. Here we go. We're getting there. Right, so we therefore know that the bazooka was in, whatever that is, the grand balcony. And we know that Major Red had the bazooka, so we therefore know that Major Red was in the grand balcony. So therefore, the Iron Tsar was in the Great Hall. So the Iron Tsar was the murderer. And we know that the Iron Tsar had the fangs. So it was the Iron Tsar with the fangs in the Great Hall. Okay, so I'm saying it was the Iron Tsar with the fangs in the Great Hall. So let's flip to the back and see if I'm right. So it was the Iron Tsar with the ivory knighted fangs in the Great Hall. So I was correct. Logico continued, and yet solving this mystery only leads us to another. In fact, there are two great mysteries in Lord Violet's life. Ooh. One, why did the Reds send an assassin to kill him when he was already on their side? Yeah. Two, why did the Iron Tsar kill him once he was fighting for the royal resistance? There was a great murmuring from the guests. The answer to these questions is the same. It is the dark secret of the Violet Isles. But before he could reveal it, there was a cannon blast. Right, I'm just looking to see if I've got time to solve the last mystery. I think I've just got time to solve the last mystery today, but you won't get to see that till tomorrow. How exciting is that? So yes, I will leave it there, and we'll return next week for number 22, The Reds Arrive. I said it was the last mystery. It's not the last mystery. The next mystery. There are many more mysteries in this book. So yes, tune in next week and we'll find out what happens next. Cheers.